Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody has had a fabulous week. I hope you've gotten lots and lots of stuff done. And I hope that we'll continue to get things done as we're on our sprints. Please let me know you're here in those comments. And I see, oh, hi, Aquiller. Out for a walk with a friend this afternoon. Oh, good. Enjoy that. I love how much you're outdoors and in your garden and things like that. That's really cool. Definitely enjoy that walk, and just think of us and enjoy your conversation and a nice stroll and peace. But so we had a really good week. We ended up doing a whole lot of stuff around the house and ended up working on my TBR, which is really good and important. And I gotta say, Carly gave me a lot of really heavy books with some heavy themes this time. Some of you probably already knew, knowing what the books were going into it, that it was going to be a heavy month, but oh my gosh, I had no idea. I was so not prepared, but needless to say, I am loving them. There's none that I have thought about DNFing, none that I thought were horrible. So they're ones that I would recommend so far to everybody. But oh my goodness, make sure you're in a place for it. And I'm wondering why she wanted to give me so many in 1 month that were such heavy topics. But I'm not sorry that I'm reading them. Just I have to sometimes take a break, I guess, and like watch comedy, like the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. If you've seen that on Amazon, it's hilarious. Not for children, but it's absolutely hilarious. And so I have to sometimes do something like that, just do something that makes me laugh, read some jokes, things like that, because the content is so hard and sometimes depressing and scary and sad. So but anyway, it's been a great week. And part of that was what I had kind of talked about last week whenever we all met about my daughter going in for ADHD testing. And so she got to do all day testing. And I'm guessing they do all day because, again, some people are morning people, some people are evening people. But regardless, she went in and it was really cool because I basically dropped her off at 9 and then I had a thick stack of papers to fill out. And then I went back at lunchtime to pick her up and take her to lunch. And then I ended up going back and picking her up around 3. And she was telling me a little bit about these tests and things that she did. And I'll get into that a little bit later to make sure everybody has a chance to be here whenever I talk about it. But it was really cool, really cool. So I'm excited to talk about that, especially since so many of you have ADHD and or family members that have ADHD. And I'm just now learning about this. Also, I have a fun announcement about a drawing. I think you know where I'm going with this. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well, or watch this later on replay. Good morning, Amanda. How are you doing? Thank you for joining again. And let me know what you're reading or what productivity you're going to be doing. Amy, good morning. Oh, it's so good to see you. Amy is my friend here locally in Indianapolis, actually. So she knows the real me, not just the YouTube me. And what's fun is Amy actually has invited me to go to a couple of events that have to do with authors and getting to meet them. And I think it's going to be a blast, especially if we can talk Lori into going to. I think it's going to be so much fun to be able to meet these authors and kind of hear about their craft and how they got where they are and maybe learn something from them. So I'm excited. I'm glad you're here. There's the handsome hubby. No, Ryan, no. Just no. Absolutely not. This if you were here last week, I told you about this little kitten that we've adopted that is totally Katie's kitten, and so she's really, taking the reins, and she's the little guy's mommy. He is exhausting. Like it is so funny because I actually asked her, I said, so do you think you'll ever have human kids? And she's like, not now. Not now. The kid exhausting. And he is the cutest little thing. Of course he is. Kittens are cute, puppies are cute, baby animals are cute. But oh my gosh, you guys, he like cries when he's hungry. He cries when he's trying to chase after the other cats who want nothing to do with him. He cries when you're playing with him. He cries when you're not playing with him. Oh my gosh. And so I jokingly I told my husband, I said, this is like the best birth control thing ever. Like, if you want to make sure your kids are safe and never even look at wanting to have kids, just give them a kitten. Just give them a puppy, something that means they are constantly exhausted and constantly having to do things. Oh, it's hilarious. No, the answer, Ryan, is no. And it's going to continue to be no. I love him. I'm glad he's a part of our family, but no. Now, just in case this is your first time being here, I roll a dice, and the dice determines how long our sprints are going to be. And the dice will determine for me if I'm doing reading or if I have to do some writing because we're trying to get that book two done. So that is what that is for. Ooh, Amanda just finished these Hollow Vows and enjoyed it. Oh, no, I have not. It's on my shelf. I will find it because I've been wanting to read it for a while. I may have put it up there. Of course, I'm not going to find it right now, am I? Never when I want to. No, that's not it. Well, I do have it. Maybe. Nope. I don't know what I did with it. It's on my bookshelf. But it is on my list because I want to read it. I've heard such amazing things about it. So I'm glad that you liked it. Are you going to continue the series or are you just going to stop with that one? Like, let me know if you loved it enough that you're going to keep on going for it too. And then let me know what you're going to read next. What are you going to read on this first sprint we're going to do, which we will have in about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we'll get started. I like to kind of jump on the morning and get stuff going. Um, let's see. Today I am, like I showed in the thumbnail, going to be finishing Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor and Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. And so I'm going to be hopefully wrapping up those two and then continuing. So far out of my 25 books for the month, I'm down to, I think, like 17 left, but I do read a little bit in every single one of them. And I just make sure that I read on average 400 to 500 pages a day. And that makes sure that I get through my entire monthly TBR typically. But I also do a whole lot on audio and at 2 times speed. But I still retain stuff. So there's some people like my husband who says he can't do the audiobooks because he can't retain it. He gets distracted by other things. That's not my problem. If I find myself drifting and I'm distracting a little bit, then I will stop the audiobook and or read with the physical copy to make sure I really absorb it. But yeah, I guess that's all the announcements I had. I am so glad you all are here. And that's our alarm. So we get to do our first roll of today's sprints. And we got a book. And going back up to the post, the book meant 60 minutes of reading. Hooray! So I'm going to enjoy finishing my books. I hope you guys enjoy what you're choosing to read for this sprint. And I will see you back in an hour. Thank you guys. All right, and we are back. So, how did everybody do? What did you read? How far did you get? I did finish Muse of Nightmares. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It is so good, you guys. Cannot recommend this duology high enough. I just gave it 4 star like I did Strange the Dreamer, only because I don't plan on rereading this duology. And as you know by now, my 5 stars are solely reserved for ones I will put on my bookshelf, hopefully get beautiful editions of over holidays and birthdays. They're ones I plan on rereading again and again, like Sarah J. Maas and Jennifer Armentrout. Um, so yeah, I don't plan on rereading this. I feel like I got everything out of it. So it's not as good as reading it the first time, in my opinion. So it's the 4 star, but I do highly recommend you guys go check it out. It is really, really good. Also, since Amanda had mentioned previously before our breaking in, I told you I would find it eventually. It was on my bookshelf way up top. So, yes, it is one I definitely am going to be checking out. And I asked if you'd read the second one, and Amanda said that yes, she did read the second book, liked it almost as much as the first, listened to it on audio. See, I'm not the only person who loves the audiobooks. It's nice when you're trying to clean and things like that to be able to listen to the books. Left wishing for a third. Oh no, so it's one of those that it's so good. But I've had ones where they do a trilogy just because the story is so complex or the world building is so complex. And I appreciate what they're doing, but I call it the curse of the second book because the second one, all it really does is give a whole lot of detail that I may or may not need or want. And so it kind of drags on setting stuff up for the third. And so in those instances, I'm glad that the author is able to do it in a duology like this one, because that's when I usually give it a 5 star if it's just so good, like you're saying, where you just don't want it to end. And so I'm hoping it's that way for me too. Good morning, Amy. Um, Hello, all. I didn't think I'd be here today. Well, we're so glad you were able to make it. Been traveling the last few Fridays. Ooh, today I'm prepping to come up north for the week to work and visit with my older girls and grandkids. Aww. Well, where have you been traveling, if you don't mind sharing, since pretty much have to stay here. We traveled to Illinois to visit family. And in fact, we're going to be dropping off the kiddo with grandparents in Illinois this weekend. So we get a whole week of just hubby and me time, which will be really nice. We'll miss her, of course, but it'll be wonderful. So, what kind of traveling have you been doing? Where have you been going? And is it for work or for pleasure? And then it looks like Amy said she has been reading People We Meet on Vacation. I've heard good things. I want to say that is it Emily Henry or something like that? And it's the same author from what is it, The Beach Read, I think it is. I read that last year. I ended up really thinking it was cute. And I think it's kind of like they're not the same story continued, but it's kind of like this overarching theme that the author is doing with these. And they just seem to be like such fun summer reads. And so that one's actually on my TBR as well to want to get to, especially summertime. Also, during our nice hour-long reading that we got to do, I was able to finally log my calendar and book tracker for all of my books that I have read so far. I want to say there's 5 or 6 that I've done so far, and I hadn't been tracking them. So I finally got to get that all caught up, and I love it because it looks like I finally completed one of my reading challenges for the year. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to have to start really picking books on purpose for these challenges because I'm a little behind on some of those. Do any of you do reading challenges like that? Like the color challenge? There's a Rory Gilmore challenge to read the books that she mentions in the series. There's what is another one that I have in here? I have a bunch in here. There's a movie challenge, books that are based off movies or television shows, things like that. There's a whole bunch online. Let me know if you guys do any of those. Amy says we went to Hot Springs last week with the other grandkids. Oh, that's so fun. And this week you'll be in Illinois to pick up your youngest who's been there for 3 weeks. Oh, see, it's nice, isn't it? You get to have some hubby time. That's always nice. We like to try to get some dates in during that time when possible, whether it's movies that just wouldn't be appropriate for Katie to go to, or just yeah, just us time, just going out and driving around. And I love to take pictures of nature, especially lakes and trees, and like trees being reflected in lakes and stuff and sunsets. So a lot of times we'll just drive around and kind of let me do some of that too. It's also like the perfect time. We of course, like I said, we miss her when she's gone, but it's a little bit easier to schedule time with our other friends to hang out and do things when we don't have to balance a teenager who may or may not be in the mood to hang out. So I'm glad you guys got to do Hot Springs. How was it? I've never been there. I'm traveling vicariously through all of you guys. Which challenge did I finish? Let me pull that up. I am glad you asked because I am a nerd and I love sharing things. Oh, and it's so funny that I said I'm a nerd because it's actually the book nerd challenge. So that's the one that I finished, the purple one right there. And the light makes it kind of hard to read. And I've got chicken scratch, so don't judge. But that's the one that I actually just finished. So I am really excited. If you really need some ideas or to see what I used for those prompts, feel free to rewatch this after it goes live. Whenever I end the broadcast, it takes a couple minutes for StreamYard to upload it. But then once it does, you can do a rewatch and you can pause here. So just look at what time it is. I show hour 15 minutes roughly. You can pause it and look at the books that I chose for those prompts. But yeah, a lot of fun. You're doing like 6. Yes, me too. Too many online clubs. But what a wonderful problem to have, right? And so there's people who are in one of two camps, and there's no right or wrong to this, okay? Because we're all made differently, and that's what makes the world so cool. So you're either in the camp where you make goals each year that you want to make sure you can achieve, that maybe it pushes you a little bit, but you really want to be sure you achieve them, or you feel like you've let yourself down and you've lost. And those same people tend to want to only go into a couple of challenges because, again, it's going to bug you if you can't complete those. I'm in the other camp, the camp of doing those reach goals of things like, ooh, I hope I write 4 books this year. And if I get out 2, then I feel like I have still succeeded. I don't feel like I lost anything. And I feel like if I don't do those reach goals, that if I just say 1 book, then that's all I'm going to go for when I could have gotten 2 out. So that's why I like to do those reach goals. But I also don't beat myself up if I don't make that. That's the difference. So for me, I'm like you, involved in like 6 or 7 book clubs, 6 or 7 reading challenges, and all the things. Because for me, and that's why my monthly TBR list is so incredibly huge, because for me, if I don't achieve all of it, what's the real punishment here? I managed to still get like 20-ish books, that I read, and I still get to share that with you guys. I get to chat with you guys online. If I never get any bigger than I am right now on YouTube, I'm still excited because I've met so many incredible people and I have such fun with you guys. So for me, reach goals are just for fun, something to strive for. And Amy says it was lots of stuff to do and it was pretty up there in the Springs. And thank you. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. You need to read it. Lainey Taylor's good. A fun date in Indy that you enjoyed was the drive-in. Yes, we do. Tibbs Drive-In. Actually, we go there a lot. We love it. It's like our favorite movie place to go. Now, when you go, you have to have the perspective that people are going to shine their lights and they're going to be noisy and you're going to have kids running around, and you have to be okay with that. Is it frustrating? Of course. People have their lights on behind you, they're blinding you. If they have the lights on in front, they're kind of fading out the screen. But if you go just knowing that that's what's going to happen and accept it and just have fun watching it, then you get a really good deal. For less than the price of a ticket in a theater for 1 movie, you get 2, and you get to have the fun ambiance as well. You get to have your blankets if it's cold and your popcorn. You can even sneak in your own snacks and stuff. So yeah, we do that a lot. We love Tibbs. And if you're ever in the Indy area, definitely go see them. It doesn't start until like 9 or 10 p.m. because they need it to be dark for the movies, but definitely worth going. I do like the word definitely a lot. I may have to make it into a drinking game when you watch my show. Every time I say definitely, you take a swig of espresso or something. Amy, doing several of the book girls. Okay, decade around the US, around the globe, A to Z challenge. I'm doing that one too. Bloom Challenge, which is a reading group. Oh, how fun! It is fun to fill it in. And Megan, who started the Little Inklings store, has the Always Fully Booked. And then she does these calendars and novel companions and things like that. And inside of whatever you get, the novel companion or the calendar, it has all these challenges like the A to Z and stuff, and around the globe and decade challenges and things like that in there. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And we've got about 3 minutes left, just so you guys know. Yeah, exactly. You just read them later. I mean, there's nobody there's no book police, okay? They're not going to come to your house and say, you didn't finish the book. We're going to take it from you and you no longer are allowed to read it. So, and in fact, going back to what we were talking about before with Amanda with these hollow vows, that's been on my list for a couple years now. So I know I'll eventually get to it. That's the important thing. And Amanda says Tibbs Drive-In was actually your first job when you were younger. Oh, that's so fun. I love that. I love their shirts that they have for sale and with the snacks and stuff. Oh my gosh, it is just so much fun. So seriously, if any of you are ever in the Indy area, you have to try Tibbs. They have an online, so you just go to their website online and check to see what screens they have that you'd want to go to and what movies you want to see and when they start and everything. It's really that simple. And they give you like a little trash bag when you check in to put your trash in, and it's just fun. They've got good bathrooms, good trash cans. I know that sounds ridiculous, but when you get older, these are things that you need in your life. So I am glad that they are there. Perfect. Sometimes it cuts me off, and sometimes it is perfectly timed. So I'm going to put this up first this time and then roll for our second sprint. And this time it is a peppermint. And so the peppermint is 45 minutes of reading. I'm loving all the reading I get to do. I'm halfway through the month and I've got a long way to go. So I need some reading in my life. This time I'm going to be finishing Red Sister. So look forward to hearing what you guys read and what you did on your 45-minute stream and or 45-minute sprint. And I will see you guys back in a little bit. Okay, and we are back, and I finished Red Sister. Hooray! Excuse me. Let me know what you guys ended up finishing or reading or doing on this last sprint. Red Sister was okay. It's by Mark Lawrence, who is really, really good at fantasy, and I. It was okay. It's the first in a, I believe, trilogy. I don't think I'm actually going to continue the series. I give it a 3 star. So again, it wasn't terrible, but there's so many series I need to get caught up on and finish, and it didn't pull me in enough for me to warrant spending more time on 2 other books. So for the first time, I'm actually going to be backing out of the Backlist Book Club's book club for the next foreseeable future because each book gets 2 months. And so we wrapped up Red Sister this month, and then you've got July and August for book 2 and September, October for book 3. So I won't be potentially joining back in until like November. But I just, yeah, life is short and there's so many books, right? So anyway, but one of the tidbits I wanted to give you guys a heads up on is I'm going to be drawing. We hit 225 subscribers, which is super exciting. Thank you guys. And so I'm going to be drawing on Wednesday, the 21st. So make sure you pay attention and you tune in and you watch that video. As always, the rules are the same where if your name is drawn, and I'll mention this again on that video, you email me at aubreypublishers@gmail.com, and that way you can claim your prize. And there's a whole shelf here of fancy books, this trolley that has the cover over it, just full of goodies, bookish goodies that I don't want. So you guys get them out of my house before the kitten eats them. So I'm going to draw 5 names like I've been doing with the little spinner and getting it up right away first thing in the morning. So you guys have all day to see it. I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and I hope you guys win. So I wanted to make sure to tell you that. And it looks like, hey, MH, good morning. I love getting to see you on Kim's sprints and her Patreon stuff. It's good to see you here. You're reading The Makeup Test by Jenny L. Howe. I have actually not heard of that one. So, what are you thinking so far? And is it like a romance? Kind of give us a little bit of a genre for that, please. And then Amy says, so many books out there. Life for sure is too short to read stuff you don't enjoy. Amen, Amy. Amen. There is. I mean, even if you just picked one genre, if you just picked fantasy, if you just picked YI, if you just picked romance, there's so many out there. You couldn't keep up with everyone that is released every year. Even if you tried, even if you read like 50 books a month, you could not possibly catch up on what's being put out every year. So yeah, I find especially as I get older, I'm a little pickier, and I think that's okay. And yes, it does sound good. See, I'm not the only one, MH. Amy wants to know too what you think of it, how you like it, because it does. It sounds to me almost like it would be I don't know, like a lovers to haters or something kind of trope going on with maybe a romance genre, but I could be completely off. Since I did finish Red Sister pretty early on, I did pick up Absolutely Truly, which was the cozy mystery that Carly chose for us for June. And I gave it a 4 star. Oh my gosh, it is so cute, you guys. It is just so stinking cute. I cannot, you need to read this. Although I do wish that it had been picked like wintertime. Of course, I didn't choose a librarian to choose my books until June, so she didn't have a choice there. But if you want to pick this up later, put it on your list. It's a quick, easy read. It's YA, but it's definitely worth it because it's so cute. But wintertime would give you the better vibes because there's a lot of talk of ice and snow and cold. And so I think it would fit better with that. But it was cute. It was really cute. And MH says, it's a contemporary romance. See, academic rivals who are exes and get accepted into the same PhD program. Oh no. Oh no. It's so good. Okay. That's being added. At our next sprint, I am 100% adding that now to my list. That's fantastic. And Amanda says, what are your next reads? Still deciding on my next read. You're a mood reader. Okay. Well, assuming you're asking me, although you know, Amy, MH, anybody else, feel free to chime in here. I think recommendations are always wonderful. Summer read, if that's, kind of what you're feeling, like some warm vibes. Beach read was good. I believe Amy was talking about people who you meet on vacation. That's also, I've heard, a really, really good one. I am still going through my TBR that was recommended. So I have to get those done. And since there's like 25, I'm not mood reading at all. I'm just trying to get everything accomplished. But one of the ones that was mentioned on here a couple Fridays ago, so I added it to my June TBR's fourth wing. It's getting a lot of notice lately, and I have yet to hear anybody say they don't like it. Now, some only give it a 3 star or 4 star. It depends on if dragons are your thing. It depends on if you like the, fantasy world at all. But if you're at all into that, then I've heard it's 4 star or 5 star. And I just cannot hear anything better about this book. So I am super excited to dive into that one. So definitely give that a look. And I don't know why I can't say another word besides definitely. Again, take your drink. So yeah, I am excited. Also, ooh, another good one that's for this time of year is anything that has to do with, uh, I think anyway, any kind of trope that's like people were best friends and then they kind of drifted apart and then they come back together. Like anything like that, I always think during the summer that's the best time to read those. I love those. We've got about 5 minutes left. And Amy says that she's been on a romance kick. So up next, she's going to switch to horror thriller. John dies at the end, or Mary. And I really should try to do horror in the summer when it's nice and sunny, warm outside, and a little less creepy. But like you guys know, I hate horror. But thriller, that I can handle. Like I've always loved the Alex Cross series by James Patterson. So Amanda, ooh, can't wait to hear your thoughts on Fourth Wing. Oh, good. Like, I'm totally going to tell you guys all about it as soon as I do. Now, what I'm going to do it justice, though, because I'm so excited about this one, I haven't started it yet. I'm going to wait until most of my TBR is done, and I'm just going to read it. So when I read it, it's by itself. And I'm just going to dive all in. Kim from Whimsical Narratives with her Patreon group has actually started a mini little readathon that's going to come at the end of this month, which sadly isn't nearly as far away as I thought. It's like the 24th and 25th. So during that time, I'm going to read Fourth Wing and just devote the entire weekend to that. So I'll let you guys know after that. Amy, oh, you did read Fourth Wing, but you never read fantasy and you still really enjoyed it for 4 stars. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's talking about how good it is. Oh, I'm just so excited. I am so excited. I know I'm a geek. If you're into thrillers, recommend She Started It. Oh, MH, you're giving us so many good recommendations. Okay. I'm going to write that one down. I like Dean Koontz. I like James Patterson. I like the thrillers. I do. I just don't like horror. I don't want to basically run to my bed at night and jump in and then my husband go, "What's wrong with you?" And I say, "I don't want something to grab me from under the bed." Like that's what I'm trying to avoid right there. But I'm definitely going to add this to my list. Fourth Week ordered. Okay, waiting for it to arrive. I have it requested on Libby, and it says, I think, still 3 weeks out, even though they got like 4 more copies of this book. I guess they didn't expect it to be quite as wild of a ride as it's been. And Amy says, on the list. Yes. Yes. We got about 2 minutes left, and then we will start again. So I told you about the 21st. Oh, the other thing we've been doing, I am crazy for games. I don't know if anybody else, if any of you guys are also into board games of any kind. And my husband came home with this from Target and it cracked me up. We played it last night and had so much fun. And it's Zombie Kittens. If you've heard of Exploding Kittens, it's like that, but this is kind of a little bit of a variant where instead of the exploding kittens completely kicking you out of the game, you can come back as a zombie kitten. And it was cute. It was a lot of fun. So I recommend it if you guys are just wanting to pick up a quick little, card game at Target or whatever, that maybe give that one a try because it was fun. I think all of those that they do, that same company, are just hilarious. Amy says, somehow got on Libby's. Oh, how did you do that? You know somebody, don't you? You have connections, don't you, Amy? Admit it. Just admit it. Yes, 70 people per copy. Yes. See, that's what I'm saying. And I still have a 3-week wait, it said. I think you've got connections, guys. We need to suck up to Amy a little bit, try to see if she can get us fourth wing faster. Mainly a puzzler, but love board games too. Yes. I try doing puzzles, but with cats, especially the new kitten, it cannot happen. Like the cats are constantly jumping on the table and knocking stuff off. So it just would not work. Thank you, man. I think so too. I think it's just adorable. It's fun. And if you've ever done Exploding Kittens, all the little cards have something absolutely hilarious on the card itself. And the art is so cute and funny. Oh, it's so much fun. I enjoyed it. Highly recommend. That sounds scary zombie kitten. Well, if you've ever seen, I'm not trying to spoiler here, but if you've ever seen Stephen King's Pet Cemetery, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say about that. Usually way at the bottom. I don't know, Amy. I feel like you're just saying that now to protect yourself. That's okay. We'll talk privately later, Amy, okay? I'll send you a message. Wink, wink. I'm not a pretty winker, just so you all know. Oh, I didn't know there was a puzzle cover. Oh, love that. Okay. I'm going to look into that and all those books you recommended. I am loving this. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start I believe this is our third, yes, our third sprint. So let me get back to the top here and pull this up for everyone. And I'm going to roll. And then, it was another peppermint. So we're going to do, it looks like another 45 minutes of reading for me and whatever you guys want to do. And I look forward to talking to you again as I quickly write down all these book titles and puzzle covers so I don't forget. I'll see you guys in 45 minutes. And we're back. How did everybody do on that sprint? We've got one more sprint to go. I'm going to make an executive decision and make it a 30-minute sprint so that we can end really well and get some stuff done, but so I can also go get lunch because I am like really hungry. So I want to know how everybody did with Violets Are Blue that I read this last sprint. I got 44 pages read out of it. I feel for the girl. She's having a kind of a rough time. Her parents are getting a divorce, and so that doesn't spoil anything. It's on the description, but yeah, I feel kind of bad for her. But what's kind of cool, like I had said in my video for June, was Carly had recommended this one because of the colors and the title, but you can kind of see a rainbow makeup if the light won't flash on it too much that's covering half her face here. And so it's kind of cute because she watches like makeup YouTube videos and stuff, and I've tried to do that. I used to watch what is it called, Glam Up or something like that, where all these really amazing makeup artists are trying to do the makeup and win. And I've had fun trying to play around with stuff like that, but it's never worked well for me. I even had Katie at one point working on my face, and her friend did the other side, and they did the challenge kind of, and then I said, well, hold on, your dad and I need to have a confab. We'll be right back. So we just kind of had a little fun, like the glow up show, but it was interesting. So thank you guys for all the wonderful recommendations for books and stuff. I've written like 4 different books added to my TBR now for ongoing that I would love to pull from. And the puzzle cover, I did go on Amazon to look for that. There's lots of options and they look really cool. And Amy cracked me up. She had added right before, that's all I'm saying too. Some things are better off dead. Yeah. Pet Cemetery is creepy, but it's worth watching. So MH said, listen to about 50 pages. All right, did some puzzles and tidied up the apartment. That's always good. I do my Fab Five every day except Sundays. Sundays are my day off, and my husband's so sweet. He tries not to pile on the dirt or dishes or laundry or anything so that it's not too crazy come Monday morning for me. But every day I just get my Fab Five done. So if I have a friend that drops by, I'm not embarrassed by my house, and it just kind of keeps things up. So I always appreciate that. I'm glad you got so much read though. That's fantastic. Yes, me too. It's so fun. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Amy likes it too. See, you guys are my peeps. We really, really enjoy it. I wanted to make sure to say, because you guys are so sweet, you were talking about ADHD last time. And so I wanted to let you know that with the testing that Katie did, it was really interesting. I guess I didn't know exactly how the testing would go. I thought she would have to build like puzzles or Legos or something, like I didn't know. So when I picked her up for lunch, she was talking about, that she had to answer a bunch of questions, and basically one of the things that they had done was a X would show up on the screen and she had to hit the space bar, but if there was a certain item or letter that entered the screen, she wasn't supposed to hit the space bar. And so she said she had a really hard time with that, and I said, well, maybe that just proves you have ADHD, that you're not able to differentiate and stop yourself. And then the one that she really hated, because she said it was so confusing, it's so hard, is they would go through and she would have to say the different colors she saw. So yellow, red, green, blue. But then they wrote like the word yellow, YELLOW, in blue or in green. And she still had to say yellow. And so she said whenever she was doing that test that it was just super hard. And the woman that was giving her the testing was so sweet and good with her. She said, you know what? I have yet, in all the years of doing this test, have yet to find someone that actually enjoys this test. Everybody hates it. So, but they were so good and so sweet. And whenever I picked her up, she basically was like, well, I don't have a degree, so I can't give you a diagnosis. And so we scheduled the appointment to see her doctor, in a few weeks to get results, she said. But it's good that you came in, is all I'm going to say. So yeah, we're fairly confident they're going to say Katie has ADHD on some some on that path. Like I know there's different types and different extremes. So it'll be interesting. So we won't know that until the end of July, though. It was the first time the doctor was available. So I can't update you guys any further until then. But I love that I get to share that with you guys. Thank you for caring. And then Amy says, read a few chapters, talked to your brother, and had some pizza. What kind of pizza do you like, Amy? My husband's so weird. He does the Hawaiian thing, the ham and pineapple. I mean, he's big on meat. He loves all the meats, but yeah, he'll do the Hawaiian thing. And I'm like, no, no fruit on pizza. No. It would be. It would be confusing. I think for me too. I don't know how well I do. An image, the color test is called a Stroop test. Okay, thank you. I had no idea. So hard in grad school for psychology. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh. It was just really cool to hear about. And yeah, this is a whole new world that I'm in now. I love it. And they did actually give us some recommended reading they said that Katie and I should do together to learn more about ADHD, but she's a teenager. So she's like, whatever. So I'll probably read it. And what I'll do, I guess, or what I think I'd like to do is to make sure to talk about it either Friday, whenever I do sprints, because why not? But also, add it to like a TBR list when I do a review at the end of the month, because some of them I don't have as part of my game. Like this month, I did Tame Your Emotions by Zoe McKee, and it really spoke to me about I have issues, especially chapter 7, 8, and 9. That's me 100%. If you want to know exactly what I'm like, chapter 7, 8, and 9 of that book. So things like that, little things that I pick up, I'm definitely going to start reviewing because I think it may help somebody else. You never know. So I just wanted to give you that update. We've got about a couple more minutes left, and then we're going to do that last 30-minute sprint. And so there was a story that someone had told that I thought was really kind of cool, and it was basically talking about perseverance and how it's all about your mindset. And the story goes that there was this farmer who had a donkey, and it was a really old donkey. So he thought and it had fallen into a hole, and he thought about all the time and money that it would take to haul this donkey back out of the hole. And he was like, you know what? I've gotten all the use I possibly could out of this donkey. I think I'm just going to leave it there. He called a couple friends. They got shovels, and he's like, we're just going to bury the donkey. Hold on. Hold on. Happy ending. So he takes a shovel of dirt and he throws it on the donkey. And then the next guy takes a shovel of dirt and throws it in the hole. And the next guy and the next guy. Well, when it comes back to the farmer again to do his shovel, he notices that every time the dirt lands on the donkey shakes it off and then stands up on top of the new dirt that had been thrown. And eventually, after so much dirt had been piled in and the donkey did this, the donkey just got out of the hole and went back his merry way. And so the whole premise of this story was to kind of say, even if that dirt's being piled on top of you, instead of being buried alive, you can choose to shake it off and do your best to stand on top of it and get out of that hole yourself. So I thought that was really kind of a cool story, a cool analogy. So wanted to share that with you guys. And then it looks like, going back to the pizza question, you like all the pizzas. What about like anchovies though? On a pizza quest down here. Really? Oh, pizza snobs. That's awesome. I'll meet one from the gas station. It's still the best around. You know what? No knocking gas station ones. There was one that was in Illinois that we could go get that had mac and cheese on it. And I'll tell you what, it was very tasty. You wouldn't think so, but oh yes. Amanda, will Katie have to take ADHD medicine? I don't know. It'll depend on what Dr. Lowry says. As far as I know, it's much better than what it was back in my day. In my day, if you were diagnosed with ADHD, they would just give you, I think it was Ritalin, and you would just be drooling on your desk. And like, it just took all the energy and fun out of your life, basically. You were like a little walking zombie. And so I've always kind of been scared of that. But when we talked to her, she said that they've come a long way and it's not that way anymore. And so I guess it'll just be dependent on what she says. I'm not sure. I hope it doesn't affect the schooling, and I don't mind sharing, thank you. And Katie doesn't mind either. She's old enough now that I always say, "Be an advocate for your body, be it," and so she's the one that came to us and said, "I want to be tested for this," because we had her tested when she was in kindergarten because we thought something just wasn't quite right. Every time she would answer something, especially if she felt unsure about it or anxious about it, she would clap her hands or slap the floor. And we just thought that was unusual. No other kids were doing that. But when the school tested her, they said, no, it's just, anxious energy. She's a kid. It's fine. Well, then in second grade, it started being more pronounced. And so we had her tested again through the school system. And again, they said, no, it's fine. She's going to grow out of it. It's no big deal. And then it just kind of seemed to go away. She's always been an anxious child, though. And so she's been seeing a therapist for years that she absolutely loves. And as soon as we moved here to Indy, of course, we immediately found her a therapist too, all for anxiety. And so I guess she was talking to her therapist about this first and then brought it up to me because I've always said, it's your body, it's your life, be your own advocate. And so she was. And so the reward for that for her is that she got to get tested like she knew she needed. And now we're getting her the help she needs. So, but I did ask her if it was okay to share details. And she said, absolutely. She's good like that. She's awesome. Usually sausage mushroom. Yes, there are so many good ones. Chicken barbecue. I don't think I've had taco pizza. Huh. I think I would like that. Okay, you're giving me some good ideas here, Amy. And yeah, the donkey story was so good. I liked it. At first, I was like, no, don't hurt any animals, but it turned out good. Feta spinach roasted peppers. Oh, that does sound so good. See, but notice there's no fruit on there. I'm just saying. Notice there was no fruit. Likes the mac and cheese pizza. Yeah, see, I can't do anything that's looking at me. I don't like anything with eyes. It kind of weirds me out. I can't eat it. Mm-mm. Middle daughter's ADHD and was always back and forth on meds. Yeah, she did them for a while and hated them. So we tried to control it with diet and she played a lot of sports to make it manageable. And see, the thing is, Katie does not like sports. She's not. She tried soccer and then was like, oh my gosh, they run all the time. If there was a swim team that she could join, she might even be interested in doing something like that, but she wouldn't want to wear a swimsuit around people. So yeah, for her, it's all about the viola. She loves playing her viola and art. That's her other huge passion. She's always drawing, sketching, painting, creating comics. I mean, that's her bread and butter. That's what she loves. But I love that there's an idea of trying diet. I may have to look into that and see if that book mentions that at all because that can sometimes make a huge difference. Takes medicine, definitely much better nowadays. Good. So many different medications. Um, Homework and stuff, music playing in the background. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I'm going to have to look into that then. Thank you. I love these pointers. I appreciate it because even if I don't remember to write it down on the next sprint, I have it here to go back and reference. So thank you for that, Amanda. And thank you, Amy. I really appreciate all of you guys in MH being transparent and giving suggestions. Anxiety, ADHD are commonly intertwined. Okay, okay. Yeah, and isn't it interesting how the brain works that they still can't figure everything out? And so that was one of the things that the tester was actually talking about is a lot of people are saying, "Wow, there's so much ADHD now and it didn't used to be that way." And she's like, "No, it's always been there. It's just we didn't always know how to diagnose it because the brain is so complex." Absolutely. And so I guess the anxiety should have been my first clue that something was going on, but I'm kind of, a high-strung person, so I thought that's what it was. Started now as a college student to try meds again to help her focus and decided to get one that releases all day. Okay, just in the morning, and she likes, okay. Okay. I love that there's different variations because again, I didn't know at all. So this is cool. Thank you guys. And taco pizza. Again, I've never tried taco pizza. Casey's has taco pizza. Okay, we do have a Casey's. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna have to give that a try. And yeah, MH, you have another fan of your pizza. We may have to start special ordering where we're at. Oh, spicy Hawaiian. I've never heard of that. Okay. My husband likes spicy stuff and he likes banana peppers. He would totally be on board with that. Not a medication, but except for the anxiety, do a lot of things, have a lot of reminders to help combat ADHD. So, like timers on your phone and things like that, I'm assuming. Is that what you mean, MH, for having reminders and stuff? Does not release all day. Okay, I apologize. I probably read that wrong, Amy. So that the medicine does not release all day, but instead just in the morning, and then she continues on her day. So yeah, I had no idea, like I said, that there was all, different kinds of medication that you can have different release times and things like that. So I am very excited, and that you can combine it with diet and things like that. So I love you guys. You were so awesome. Thank you. Well, been there, Amy. I think we all have been there big time. All right. Well, thank you guys. I was going to say there's like less than a minute left. So we'll go ahead and do that last 30-minute sprint to get some stuff done. And I will see you guys afterwards for a little bit of a wrap up. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And I'll see you soon. And we are back. So, how did everybody do on our final sprint? I ended up listening to It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And oh my goodness, it's not what I thought it was going to be. It's cute so far. I'm only about an hour and a half into it total, so I've got a ways to go. But so far, it's interesting, and I like the romance that's looking like it might happen. So if you've read that before, you know what I'm talking about. Before we went on our sprint, MH had mentioned that she's not on ADHD medication, but she does do reminders. And I had asked if that was on the phone, and she replied back that yes, reminders on the phone, certain places I put things so I don't lose them, a ton of fidget toys, a crazy planner, to do lister. I love planning and to do lists myself. And my family actually makes fun of me because as soon as my husband's like, well, we'll go ahead and do a camping trip because I love being outside. It relaxes me. And so he'll be like, okay, well, we got to, pack up. And I'm like, hooray, a packing list. And I'll pull out a notepad and start writing stuff down. I'm like, hooray, a to-do list. And start writing. And they know that I'm just like super excited about those things. And every year, whenever it's time to get a new planner for the year, I like take the tissue paper off and I get to sticker it and draw on it. And I absolutely love it. It's one of my happy places. And of course, places like Staples is my candy land. Amanda says there are lots of things you can try or add to meds. Another good one is not making your kids sit down and be still while doing homework. Your son Aiden would stand at the table to do it. That's a good idea. For Katie, we noticed that as soon as she started, I think 6th grade, that she improved her grades when the teachers would allow her to draw while they were lecturing. If they forced her to sit there and just pay attention to the lesson, it's like she couldn't absorb it as much. She needed to be drawing in order to do that. And since then, it got better. So I think there's something to that. Yay! Amy loves planners and planning too. You really ought to look into Little Inklings. If you've not seen Megan, she's on Instagram. And then I want to say it's Little Inklings dot, I think, com. But if you Google Little Inklings Megan, you'll see it, small business owner. And she has all kinds of her planners that have to do with books and stuff. It's so fun. Didn't read anything, but changed your sheets, took out the trash, started a load of laundry. MH is getting it all clean, getting all the things done, which is so good. And non-planners don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. But you know what? I feel like there's lots of us out there, and that's why you have so many different sticker options just on Amazon, let alone going in the store and you can see all of the happy planner stickers and things like that. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. I used to do Erin Condren only for a long, long time. They're expensive, but they're very well made. And then my husband actually was about ready to get my annual Christmas gift of Erin Condren. And I said, you know what? On Instagram, there's this small business owner. I'd rather support a small business if I can. And it just looks really cool. And especially since I love books so much, I'd like to kind of look into this and see if it's up my alley. And sure enough, I fell in love with it. And that's what I use. And I want to say this is about the 4th year that I've done the always fully booked planner from her. I'm going to do something a little different next year, though, because she came out with the Ultra Novel Companion, and it is gorgeous. And it's nice and big. So it's not one that can go in your purse or anything, but I'm definitely going to have it here on the table on my desk, and I'm going to use it to track all things because I'm wanting to track more to give you guys info whenever I compare books and different book boxes and stuff. So I'm very excited about that. And then Amy, you do a Cocoa Daisy. Oh, see, it is pricey, but it's cute, right? And whenever you can find a planner that works perfect for you, it's like you don't really want to go. But have you ever had the problem where you get your planner, you're so excited about it, and then you see one advertised on YouTube or Instagram or the TV or whatever, and you're like, I kind of have planner envy. I I kinda wanna go do that and get that. I have. I feel so bad. I mean, I would spend tons of money if I could on planners and stickers. Oh, good. I'm glad you're looking into it. She also has stickers. If you do like audiobooks and physical and ebook and you want to track those throughout the year, she's got those. She has spreadsheets inside of her calendars and planners that allow you to place those stickers there. And her stickers are pretty universal. So it's nice because no matter what planner you get, it should fit it. It may be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, but for the most part, I don't have to do much trimming or anything, and I can get the cheaper stickers. And the struggle is real, yes. One of my favorite little terms that I didn't know existed until I started listening to the podcast Planners and Wine with Megan and Myra. I oh my and those girls are hysterical. You should check it out. But it was hilarious because they were talking about that kind of planner envy and that sometimes, they'll have one planner that does most of what they want, but there's still a little something missing. So they would franken plan by having multiple things to try to meet their needs. I had never heard franken plan before and I thought that's fantastic. So I mostly use the little inkling one, but I'm going to call a little bit of Franken planning whenever I want to just add in a little something extra. She does have a lot of dot grid pages in her planners for people who enjoy doing the dot grid journals and, would like to add something like that into it to track as well. Now that I do sprints, that's one of the things I'm going to try to track also moving forward starting in January. So well, that's all I had to talk about, guys. Once again, you are wonderful and supportive, and thank you so much for coming out. I'm glad stuff's gotten clean, books have been read, had fun talking about pizza. Love the advice for the ADHD stuff. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful book recommendations, because of course, this is a booktube channel, so books are always a win. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and next week. And I will see you guys next Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, like this. So take care, guys. See you later.